Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of the OG Wisdom Podcast with me, your brother Tad, our co-host C-Gutta, and our other co-host, our sister Kee Fighter, who'll be joining us shortly. Today, we're going to delve into the genius, the grit, and the global influence of Black America, because in the midst of what many are calling the diaspora wars, there's been a neglect of the contribution of Black people in America, particularly around these holidays. You know, people were celebrating Thanksgiving, enjoying time with their family. But then, of course, we got radical extremists who may have an issue with that. Me, as a Black man in America, born and raised in America, I don't see a problem with people enjoying time with their family. I get the significance of the historical implications. However, with all the Black families I know, never heard nobody say, thank God for the Pilgrims and Christopher Columbus. So we just here, we gonna set the record straight today. Gutta, when you ready, you can give me the thumbs up, bro. All right, let's welcome our brother Gutta to the stage. Gutta, what's the word? What's the word, bro?
Peace. What's good?
I can't call it, bro. I can't call it. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoying this nice little festive weekend that we just coming off of. You know, time spent with the family. My daughter's cooked, which is a beautiful thing, having adult children to, you know, kind of cater to their pops. Cater to the old man.
My granddaughter cooked. Did her thing. Turkey, everything. You know, I don't eat the turkey, but you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, we didn't do turkey this year. We didn't do turkey, you know? But I'd be remiss if I don't give a shout out to our folks that's in the building. Shout out to our sister Queen Anusa, always checking in, holding us down. Our fiery sister Brooke, who always seemed to go viral. We got to get her back to talk about this reparation situation and what's the updates on that.
7:50, 15:30, salute.
You know what I'm saying? So, salute to the sis, Tish 76 and 7 Fitness 1350, always checking in and rocking out with the playback. We definitely appreciate the love and support. Yeah, Gutta, but this Thanksgiving, is this the first time your granddaughter cooked for you? Or cooked for the family, rather?
No, my granddaughter know how to cook.
That's what's up.
That's like she an old soul anyway.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Medea movie.
How old is she?
She's 15, man.
Oh, wow. And see, this is the proper age for her to start learning how to cook, you know, because unfortunately,
She's been
a lot of
cooking
dope
for 2
women.
years already. That's what I'm saying. Like, she literally been cooking for some years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's
Her
up.
pops cooks as well, so you know she
Oh, so she got it honest.
prepping with him and stuff like that. So you know what I mean. And her mother, and my daughter, you know, both of them cook. So
yeah, I think it's important that young women learn how to cook and not just, you know, not on no domesticated stuff. Like, you know, that's a skill that everybody needs. You know what I'm saying?
learn how to cook so you ain't got to spend all that goddamn money leaving the crib.
That's right. I think there's a lot of skills that we have as Black people here that we pretty much don't participate in no more. What you think that's about?
Like I said, feeding into this system, bro. The more we done fed into the system, we stop taking care of ourselves for ourselves.
Now, when you say feeding into the system, what do you mean by that? Give the people a little example.
It's all right. You got to remember,
because I know what you mean.
We're gonna talk about history. You got to remember, at a time is we were separated when they had us, the so-called separate people. Like, we depended on ourselves for ourselves.
Right.
So once you had the integration, you know,
you're talking about the 1960s and things like that.
So after, because we were still doing the self. You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, this decades later, my nigga. 4 and 5 decades later, so people have evolved the consciousness of, yo, we got to take care of ourselves. these people, the system is not going to do anything for us.
Yeah.
Hey, what's good, New York?
Shout out to our dude New York in the house.
You know
our number one troll.
We went away from, because I'll go back to excuse me. I'll go back to the conference where they had Big Mike there.
Right.
And
you mean Killer Mike?
Yeah, Killer Mike, not Big Mike.
Yeah.
Mike. When they were talking about the he was talking about being revolutionaries.
Right.
And like I said, I grew up in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Everybody backyard where I live had a garden. They cooked everything. They hunted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the folks were self-sufficient.
Yeah. They hunted, they fished. Like we did that. Just regular.
And what do you think it is that stopped our folks from doing for self? Like, do you think it's because black folks really bought into the system?
Yeah.
Like, let us feed you.
In my opinion.
Now, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Is that we bought into the system. Once we start seeing a little bit of progress, I think for the most part, a lot of us thought that, you know, everything was taken care of.
Right.
And they didn't have to do with their mothers and grandmothers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Like I said, I can't, because I haven't lived all over the United States either. You understand what I'm saying? But I could just speak on like me coming up. Even up here, you know, people had roof gardens. You got to remember, like, even though I lived in Mississippi, I was up here damn near every summer. So that black revolutionary spirit that we have, where we're going to take care of ourselves. Got to remember, this is where the concepts of co-ops came up in New York City. People,
right.
My mother and father was part of taking over a joint in the Lower East Side.
Right, community gardens and things like that, right?
Took the whole joint over. You know, it was a building they had to pay, and the government wasn't taking care of the maintenance.
Right.
So they said, you know what? We're gonna take care of the maintenance of the building. We ain't paying y'all shit. And that's where the concept cooperative.
Yeah.
That's why I be telling our people is like, people start saying that we think a certain way on the whole, bro. We are more socialists dealing with each other than capitalists. I don't know where people get this understanding where they think that we capitalist as a community.
I think because right now, the way everything is right now,
buying into the system is capitalism. That's the system. So in order for you to make money, you got to exploit others. Whether it's, you know, doing what we was doing on the streets. You know what I'm saying? The music industry. Where, right. You know what I'm saying? Which is,
and I think entertainment was the biggest influence on us moving away from our natural way of life.
Yeah, of course.
You know, there's so many levels.
I was watching, I don't remember the podcast, got out, but what's the name was on it? Day. Mike
Epps. Mike Epps. I was like, Day. I'm thinking in the hood.
He said, man, we all got tricked. All of us was copying something. Shit we saw on TV, music we heard, which is the truth.
Yeah.
That influenced a lot of us, bro.
Yeah. Now let me ask you.
How many dudes you heard after Minister Society named Odo?
Word. Well, hold on. Let me say this. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Doggy Diamond's original name I think it was in 1987, or in 1988, we started calling him G-Dog. I'm not gonna hold you. His name was G-Dog first, and then we just started calling him Dog.
His name.
Say it again.
Off his name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's everybody.
Right, because the initial slash Dog.
D-Rock.
Yeah.
Let's go off his name. It's like dudes had that jazz up their names, my nigga.
Yeah. I mean, we all did. Like you really wasn't official in the hood if you ain't have a name.
Back in our days, before I got the like dudes' nicknames was Ski, Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like this,
my name was T-Ski when I was like 11.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The breakdancing era. I could never do the shit because my name was Seif. That shit ain't like the Seif Rock or the Seif Ski. That shit ain't. You know what I'm saying? So I was Seif until I got to gain the nickname.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
you got the name Gutta. Yeah.
Even before that, what people don't know is we went to see Juice.
Okay. 92.
Nee started calling me Bishop. So everybody was calling me Bishop.
Okay.
I was tight though. Like that's a name I hated. First of all, they was like, yo, and not no shot at Tupac because of the situation with it. This
right.
That.
Way before that, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Some dudes were still on the block.
Yeah. So when they're like, first of all, I don't look like him. You know what I'm saying? Stop. You know what I mean? That's a movie character. Then I didn't like the movie character. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a snake.
Right.
He snaked this man. So I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't like it.
You won't be associated with that.
Yeah, don't associate me with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something that just goes to prove the impact that the media had on us.
Yeah.
At a younger age.
Yeah. Peace, sis.
Peace, my brothers. How y'all doing today?
We're doing great. Fantastic. Glad you could join us.
Yes, indeed. Glad to be here.
Warming up, talking about entertainment industry. And Gutta, this goes to a question I was about to ask you. And Sister K, you could jump on right after this. So we talking about the influence of the media, right, Gutta? Hip hop in the beginning was a positive influence. Do you think there's still space for hip hop in our community since it became our voice in the mass media? Like, what's your thoughts? Because all three of us been around since hip hop started.
It's definitely, obviously, it's a voice. You know what I'm saying? Because even like I told my artist, shout out to Kyle Brinks. I said, even if you saying negative shit, you're conscious. Because you're conscious of what you're saying. But you got to understand what when people say conscious rap, they mean black conscious. Being aware of the environment and what the system does to black people as a whole. Because everybody conscious. Like, somebody, but to explain when people say conscious rap, it means black conscious. You know what I'm saying? Being aware of the oppression that we dealt with in this country over 400 years. You know what I'm saying? Of course, and then you have certain people, like I spoke to my artist about this. It's like, it's people, you could be from the streets. You don't necessarily have to like edit yourself, but you can talk about black consciousness within your experiences within the streets. And that's what we're missing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We
need you to stop right there.
Consciousness from our perspective.
I want you to stop right there, Gutta, because I'm gonna come back to that because that was my next question for you. But sis, I want you to touch on that real quick because Gutta, I'm gonna come back to you because you hit it right in the head where I was going with it. Sis, you want to add on to what Gutta just put down?
Yeah, because we have to also remember that, and a lot of people like to brush it off as if it was nothing, but that crack epidemic really did a move on our people, especially those of us who are of Gen X, right? We were in the throes of all of that
I think we got impact. Well, us and the generation behind us got impacted. Us and our kids.
Yeah.
Right. And so that played a huge role in, how we move. A lot of things, the generation before us, which are the baby boomers, held on to a lot of things, and they couldn't pass it on to us, right? Because we were in the throes of this crack epidemic, whether you were hustling or not,
using,
right, or not.
Because a lot of our parents got caught up.
Yes, yeah. Definitely so.
Us getting caught in the throes with that took away our ability to take in the information that the elders had for us, because we was in a day-to-day survival. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, remember what I said is from us being segregated up to the point, you got to remember it's generations after. So now all our mind, this is the 80s, is when the capitalism exploded.
All about getting mine. I got to get mine.
Yeah, it exploded in the black community.
Yeah.
My people, because you had individuals like what's the dude from the Black Panther?
Huey Newton.
No, end up marrying a white woman, turned to Republican.
Eldridge Cleaver.
Bingo. You had individuals like that was fighting the system, and then turned or had the masses thinking he was fighting the system.
Appreciate you, Professor Carl Tone.
When you look at it, when you look back at it, you realize it's just like people doing on the internet. It was a grip.
Yeah.
It was a grip for him to sell them books that he was selling in jail.
Yeah.
That's what it end up when you peel all the layers back. That's what it end up. You know what I'm saying? That's what it showed. That's what it was. So us not being able to get the information that we needed to move forward, and then it was also a time of too much intellectualism.
Yeah. So Gutta, what you had stopped about the consciousness, talking about your artists, and we was talking about the influence of the media. With hip hop, we kind of took control of that, gave it a voice, even parlayed it into entrepreneurship. So you got former hustlers, as we talk about the epidemic. You got folks like Master P, 50, Hove, Big, Wu-Tang, like most rappers came from that psychosis, that psychology of hustling in the street to get ours, which we had a global influence and impact, turned it into entrepreneurship. Do you think because of what drugs did, even though we took the information to build businesses,
it was a double-edged sword as well?
That's what I'm about to ask you. Because now, since we took the ingenuity of what we learned in the streets, how to build multi-million-dollar businesses, because everybody I just named done made over $1 million in the music. Do you think it was the psychosis of coming from a drug culture, or do you think it was the influence of folks that's not from our community telling us promote that message? What's both of y'all thoughts on that?
It was both.
Okay. Because
the people that was just giving it like it is, for the most part, they didn't allow the powers that be tell them what to say. You know what I'm saying? Because like people don't realize, even in big drug joints, there's always a message. He talking about somebody got to die at the end. He's shooting the dude and he holding his daughter.
Right.
He telling you how foul this game could be. You got to really, like, people got to honestly like listening to what's going on instead of just hearing specific bars.
Yeah. One of my favorite joints is niggas bleed like us. The message is, don't park by a hydrant. He said the funny thing about it, through all the excitement, their range got told they double parked by a hydrant. All that shooting. But I mean, that's Big's comedic twist on it.
That's the
comedic twist.
Yeah.
Later of all the gunplay, you done lost your whip. Yeah.
But that's the thing is like Master P, BG, Juvie, Q, Snoop. They weren't influenced by the system. Big, Nas, you know what I'm saying? They influenced the system. You know what I'm saying? They influenced the system. The system saw that and tried to make carbon copies of each one of those artists. Man, you already spoke about this before.
Yeah.
Like every big artist, they try to make a carbon copy.
Right.
Whether you from the East Coast, West Coast, down South, Midwest, if you make it big, they're going to try to find an artist that matches your energy, preferably look like you, so they can make more money off of him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Than they did off of you.
Right. And in addition, promote a message.
And they still have you as a commodity.
Yeah.
So, you know, bro, I done seen it. I done sat in joints where dudes tell you to say,
I know you did.
Oh, yo, this will be hot. And then you be looking at them like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is you talking?
Right.
You know
Sis, what you want to add to that? Sis, what you want to add to?
I'm gonna let y'all flow with it because you know, I will say this, that, you know, from a woman's perspective, because like in the outset when you guys were talking about, you know, carrying on certain traditions and, you know, learning how to cook, again, a generation was lost in that because a lot of grandmothers, you know, those baby boomers had to take care of the children because their parents were strung out. You know what I mean? And then you can hear that in the music. As you said, if you listen closely, there is a message.
Yeah. Granny took care of me. They say that, fuck pops. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes fuck moms, because mom is on bullshit.
Yep.
I'm saying, even though they say, like, a lot of it be they pain. So you gotta, you have to respect where they coming from. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be somebody, and I don't want to say a mentor, just like a G homie. You got to have a G homie that teach you how to temper your pain. Because a lot of these dudes lost their life by dissing on records.
Yeah. And I think that's where I'm leading with it, because, you know, we all about healing over here in this space, you know what I'm saying? Because us three, we from Brooklyn. We've been through it. We done seen how it starts, how it finished, and we're fortunate enough to be alive and be free to really tell the story. So a lot of times we talk about this, it's a cautionary tale. So those coming behind us, like you said, Gutta, youngins need a G homie. So whether they're in our immediate presence or they watching us virtually, every time we grab these mics, we have a responsibility, whether we think so or not. And that's what a lot of artists don't understand. It's that I mean, they have a responsibility.
And what I mean by G homie, I don't mean just an older homie. The G homie 2-3 years older than you.
Right. Somebody gonna keep it a buck with you.
Yeah, he has maturity and emotional intelligence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He know how to get you to like, yo, nah, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because I want to say this real quick.
Like it'll be more like a question. Oh, you know what you're doing?
Right.
And dude like, what you talking about? And dude to lay it down is like, yo, this lead to this. Homie, we riding with you, but all right, what if homie get locked? Or what if he get cooked?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that type of energy where you gotta have a dude that been through enough, you know what I mean, and has the emotional maturity after having gone through that to be able to, you know, talk to you because you got the enough respect for him to listen to him.
Yeah.
Nah,
yeah,
he done
and
fire. You know what I'm saying? Let me, you know what I'm saying? He done did a little bit more than me. He done experienced more than me going through whether it's the streets, prison system, or whatever. You know what I mean? And he got a little bit more knowledge than me. And I know he with the business.
Right.
He gonna talk to me and I'm gonna listen because I know he with the business. So he's gonna, you know what I'm saying?
He's gonna give you the right information.
Yeah, he gonna talk to me and not in no little nigga way either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a slippery slope as well.
Right. Because where I was gonna go with it, right, Gutta? Because we're talking about our influence, Black American cultural influence, and we're talking about the seed of what many people see now. Like you and I literally grew up with Biggie. Sister Kee Fighter, like she's from Brooklyn and she's grown up in a movement. So all of the influential African-centered Black nationalist teachers she's walked with, studied under, and taught some of them. Let's not be clear. Let's be clear.
It's like I'm kind of jealous of the sisters.
Why you say that?
No, those were the ones that was able to get that information. Bro, like, truth be told, a lot of people that got a lot of information in those days, dudes got it from a sister that they know was sharp. Because that was the ultimate shit. Like you didn't want, you know what I mean? In our days, we want the educated, smart, pretty, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I used to be like, yo, I want the one with glasses and all that.
Yeah, the smart always.
Not even knowing that don't make you smart. But
those who knew how to carry themselves. Those,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those who had a future, where you could see she got a future.
Yeah, and she like,
because we had the chicks who hung out on the stoop and got high with us too, smoking weed, drinking 40s.
No, but I'm saying that ain't take away from their intelligence. I'm talking about ones that was actually cultured in our culture.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Because you know, white people got a different way of saying culture. Like they think culture is all things European. When I say culture, is you come up within that Black culture.
Yeah.
Where they teach you about your ancestors, whether they was in Africa, here, Europe. You know what I'm saying?
Like my cousin said, my mom's people. Yeah, rest in peace to my mom's. He said, indeed, like Aunt Peach is a true leader. My mom's was. That's why I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, those are the ones. Like, bro, the few times that I went to them spots is because my mom's.
Right. But Gutta, what I was gonna say, because you was hitting on some things, and I don't want to get lost in it, like you was talking about the G homies and the influence and those who the dudes respect. Because now with our global influence as Black Americans, particularly East Coast, Brooklyn, New York, because you see, we get a lot of New York hate. Shout out to Charleston White. He just did a video hating on New York. Shout out to him. But what I was gonna say, Gutta, right? So does it stand the reason that we now got this knowledge and information that it's on us to spread the information? And I ask this rhetorical question because as I look around the world, whether it's the UK, whether it's the Caribbean, the motherland, Asia, everybody implement the hip hop culture. Even if they're not into hip hop, if it's the jazz culture, the gospel culture, we're the progenitors of this culture, and we're trying to share with people, this is how this story's gonna end if you keep this path up. Do you think they have to listen to us? Should they listen to us? Or we really not that as influential as we think?
All right. Now, the only man, you spoke about this earlier. The only problem with us is we didn't.
The man New York crazy.
We didn't caught on.
You man New York.
Shout out to my OG Wisdom podcast boyfriend, New York. He already started.
Now the Maroon taking it somewhere else. We're gonna catch your ass. We're gonna catch your ass. Y'all Maroons ain't gonna get away. Find your ass down in that motherfucking break swamp. But Damn, what was my damn? He caught me.
No, I was yeah, because New York is crazy. He said, "Gutta, we can't skip that." No, I was saying, since we're the progenitors, since we're the leaders in the culture, we have the voice. We started this, and we know how it ends. People around the world got their different expressions. Should they listen to us? Should they not? Or we are not as influential as we think we are? Is the question.
Oh, yeah, I was saying, man, you spoke about this. The only problem we have sometimes is that we follow in the white people's mind with the American exceptionalism. You know what I'm saying? It's like niggas that think like we the only ones that struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, not so much the struggle. I'm talking about the influence.
No. But that's what I'm saying. That's our only problem. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because you got to remember, like,
yes, how
all them African countries got fucked up was because of our politics or our allies' politics. You know what I'm saying? Whether
the government's politics, the government's allies.
No, I don't mean. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't mean us.
Right. You mean the U.S.
But
the U.S. politics,
you know people, we don't realize, like, sometimes they don't equate us with being Black American. They equate us with the government as well. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta remember that. But influence, of course. I mean, look, you gotta. I seen this funny shit on YouTube. A little African dude look just like 50. And he run around. Yeah, that shit had me crying. So of course the influences, but we have to spread more than what they receive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta find a way. Well, we have ways, you know what I'm saying? Because now we in the digital age. So now you can spread what's going on, you know what I'm saying, and giving people the true history and stuff like that through little documentaries, music videos.
But now, Gutta, because right now where we at, and Sister Keisha, I want you to chime in on this too, because I came in the movement in 1997, right? And I know continental Africans, I know people straight off the boat from the Caribbeans, I know people that grew up here. We create the language, we create the mindset. A lot of the culture and the information in terms of Black history stems deeply from our teachers that was here in the U.S. Even people come all the way over here, whether it's Kwame Nkrumah, Stokely Carmichael, like so many people come here to study our story. You're saying we need to get this information out, but how do we get people to receive the information when a lot of what was sold in the earlier days, we got new and updated information, and some people don't want to let go of the old ideas? How do you propose we get people to accept, like, I know Dr. such and such said this, but new information shows us that this is now being revealed through the Freedom of Information Act. We're now knowing this. We're living in real time of what our teachers and ancestors was hoping it would be, but we're dealing with what it really is in real time. How do we get our people to accept that and not live so much in the past? And when you're done, Gutta, I want to give it to Sister Keisha.
Most of our ancestors was correct. Gotta remember, Alvin Van Sertima said we came before Columbus.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He spoke of first the Kemetic movement, on to the Malian movement. You know what I'm saying? And even before that. You know what I'm saying? On both continents, so North and South America. Gotta remember, Central America is not a continent. That's part of the continent of North America.
North and South. Right.
It's part of North America. Central America is North America. Then you have South America. Only reason they call it Central America because it's all Latin. That's it. It's all non-English speaking countries, except for a couple. You got Belize and Costa Rica, which does speak Spanish, but they speak English as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
besides beliefs and that, you know, everybody speaks Spanish. That's the reason. You know what I'm saying? So North and South America, the first inhabitants were of African descent. You know what I'm saying? That's the so like our ancestors all told us, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, he also spoke of the mound builders. He said when they buried, I think the great joint is in Missouri. You know what I mean? Where they found artifacts from Africa. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you, because
what I'm saying is our ancestors basically was telling us,
right,
for Black Americans, that we have a unique history,
right,
as well because we got to remember, as well as the Caribbean,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we was trafficked from here to there. You know what I mean?
And back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. So, you know, a motherfucker that Denmark Vesey came from the Virgin Islands to the United States, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
No, right. No, I agree. I asked that question because I got brothers
from Jamaica to Haiti.
Right. No, I'm not disagreeing with that.
And no, what I'm saying is our ancestors was basically telling us, even though they what was basically not certified is now being certified.
Right.
The stuff that they say we don't have any confirmation has been confirmed.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying because there's a mindset now, and someone was on my post a week or two ago and said Black people were not here. All Black people came here through the transatlantic slave trade, or better known as the Great Mayafa. And I'm like, wow. And this is somebody who has an African name. He's from the U.S., Queens in particular. And he said that. And I had to cite Dr. Clark, Lerone Bennett, Ivan Van Sertima. And I said, so the ancestors weren't correct? So, you know, I'm in agreement with you. But this is what I'm saying. There's a certain mindset, and people have platforms and will spew that our history started during our enslavement. Yeah. And those of us who study know that is not true.
That's due to people not knowing the history, the true history. The books, school don't teach you the full and true history of America.
Right.
Even though you can go into all their books and documents and go back and all that, and they will tell you who they saw.
Yes.
When they talk about the Black Irish and the Black Scots, you got people that are there, what do you call it? When they live around the same, they live around the same. They're peers.
Right.
Describing certain clans from certain places as being Black. You had Black, then Tawny, which was light skin. And then you had white. So if they describe, you know what I'm saying? So this is indisputable.
Right.
But, you know, like I said, we spoke on this long time before. Most people don't really do
their due diligence or research outside of what they already think to be true.
Exactly. And
the confirmation bias.
The most part is, and I spoke to you earlier about this, a lot of us being that we thought all the white people came from Europe, people didn't really look at European history. So they didn't understand that, like, Europe wasn't homogenous.
Right.
Europe was more diverse than, it's probably like the United States now.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like now you see how the United States is.
You got everybody here from all over.
From everywhere. That was the crossroads, my nigga. It's not actually a continent. It's a peninsula.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a crossroads of Asia and the continent.
Yeah. Sister Keisha, what you want to add to that?
First off, let me just say that, because I'm going back to the beginning, because you guys said a lot. When you talk about how could we get them to see more now what the end result is as far as the culture is concerned. We need not concern ourselves with what they think. We never did. We never did. We just did us. And doing us influenced the world. And so when you want to consider what the world thinks, that muddies the waters and it becomes confusion. So just do what we're doing and not worry about what the world thinks poses greater influence. As far as our ancestors, we have to be clear on what we mean by our ancestors, right? Because I think you guys mentioned Ivan Van Sertima, who himself struggled with identity. How do I know that? Because of who he slept with and who he married. The same with Frantz Fanon and Sheikh Anta. So we have to be very
Julius Garvey.
Julius Garvey. They too, Malifi Asante, suffered with that own identity crisis. So we have to be careful about who we say our ancestors are. All of those men created great works of history, and we have to leave it at that, because when you start saying master teachers and stuff like that, it becomes idol worshiping. So I don't want to get caught up in that, and I realized that from being in the movement, right? So when you say master teachers and things like that, it becomes very difficult for people who followed or who have read their historical greatness. And I have to say that they were historical geniuses in the time in which they lived. But when you do that, it becomes a contradiction in your mind to say that, they were wrong on certain things. Or not wrong, but new information has come out that we can attach to what they had already started. And so when you do that, when you start idol worshiping, it causes confusion in the brain. And that's why I believe a lot of people today, are caught up with a particular mindset, not giving credence to new documented information. For example, when I talk about the AOO gene from our brother Perry, which Albert Perry, which was connected to Cameroon. However, that gene broke off over 3,000 years ago. So how long do you hold on to that gene when, in fact, those of us here, and as Gutta mentioned, in Europe, intermingled with so many different other groups of people? You can't hold on to that idea anymore. It's gone. It's gone. Scientists will tell you that. But because, there's a lot of idol worshiping, a lot of people become confused and get stuck. But, we just have to keep doing what we're doing. That's it. Don't worry about what the world is thinking.
Damn, sis, you done drop some bars, and I think that's true because most people don't know who Albert Perry is. Just give the people a brief summation on who Albert Perry is and why his existence is important.
He's just a black man, I believe, from South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, who did a DNA ancestry test on himself, right? But with that blood that he submitted, or that saliva that he submitted, they found that his gene was very, very unique. And it went back more than 3,000 years here in the United States, and it had no connection to Africa whatsoever. So that's why I say, even scientists have said that gene broke off. You can't continue to hold on to that. It's ridiculous. We had a unique experience here and in Europe, right? An intermixture of people. For example, when I look at the paternal line on my father's side, there is a mixture of German and Black. You see? And then it breaks down even further than that when they begin to intermingle with American Indians. right? So you can't hold on to a particular gene pool anymore. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And that's why when you take these ancestry tests, they give you a roundabout. They take a cacophony of ethnic groups or regions in the world and say maybe 20% came from here, maybe 10% came from here, maybe 5% came from here. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But again, you know, we as Black people, I'm just talking about us here because this is where we're from. Even in enslavement, right? You guys mentioned how, you know, you had people who were in Haiti sold back to Jamaica, Jamaica sold here, and vice versa. That too is ridiculous. Even though the history is factual, but there was an intermingling. So is Book Mondati, is he just Jamaican or is he Haitian as well? Right. How did that intermingling work? Did he have children? Who were his aunts and uncles? Who were his great-grandparents? And that's why we are in a unique position.
His great-grandparents, well, shit, we don't know who his great.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. You don't know.
He got kicked off Jamaica as a grown-ass man.
Right.
So he was born and raised in Jamaica. He was banned to whatever. They sent him to Haiti because Haiti was worse than Jamaica. You know, they already had the Maroons in Jamaica.
Right. So now if they do the DNA, do they say he's Haitian?
Haiti, right? Haiti was controlled by the mulatto class. You see what I'm saying? Because the European couldn't take the conditions in that region. It was the mulatto class that controlled Jamaica. When you look at a lot of people from Jamaica and their genealogical line, a lot of them came from Cuba. So are they Cubans or are they Jamaicans? And we are in a unique position. We have the ability, well, a lot of us know who our third, fourth, fifth, sixth to 10th great grandparents are by name, by region in which they live. They do not. And so we here, the United States, those of us Black people, we provide a particular cover for the world in Blackness, right? Everybody can hide here under our cover. We cannot do that around the world. It is impossible to do because of tribal ethnic beliefs. You cannot hide under the cover of Blackness in any other place of the world outside of here. And that has become a problem for a lot of people.
Don't understand who created that cover.
What, flat blackness?
White? No, we didn't create shit. White supremacy created that.
Explain.
What do you mean, God? Yeah.
Explain.
When you say flat blackness?
Here, when you come over here, who gets painted? You got to remember, Italians and Irish was black as well. That's why they was living around. So they got their white card. So everybody that come over here, the government classifies them as that.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, and I agree with that.
Why do you think when I say we going to the African braid shop? We all black, but we know there's a difference.
Right.
Well, I'm going to the Jamaicans. I'm going to the Jamaicans.
Right.
We all black, but we know the difference.
And you know what, Gus? You hitting on some good shit right there.
It's the largest society that
blankets us black. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You hit it in the head.
Supremacy that blanket it's not.
So Tom, Gutta, you hit it. You hit it. I want you to stop right there, and I'm gonna give you the mic back because now, as Black Americans, I just want to talk about jazz, gospel, hip hop, all the fly shit we created. But you brought it to today's arguments. So when we talk about as being foundational Black Americans, because to your point, all of these people who live in America, whether you Jamaican, whether you African, whether you Cuban or Caribbean, you are blanketed as black, as to your point about white supremacy. And it almost homogenizes us that have our unique experience Like you said, Jamaicans are unique. When I want oxtail, I'm not going to the Spanish spot. I'm not even going to the soul food spot for oxtail. I'm going to the yard man them. So when we say delineate, most people, I'm gonna give you the mic, Gutta. Let me just get my point off. When we say we're delineating, we're saying we're just creating a specific identity because we are homogenized. Like you said, white supremacy makes it a blanket statement that you're all black. But when we say, no, we're a different kind of black,
this is the thing is the culture knows for the most part.
Right, the culture knows, but then some ignore, especially when we don't speak up for ourselves, because that's when it comes up, oh, they have no culture. They have no culture. Forget the fact that we invented things that the world used, whether it's Charles Drew's inventions with medicine, the things he's done with medicine, whether it's Gary Morgan, like whether it's Madam C.J. Walker, all of this dope stuff we invent. The way we talk, the way we dress, the way we walk, our walk is different than other black folks. We even walk different, but people will still say we have no culture. We have our own particular way of making foods, but they say we have no culture. So that's why we're like, all right, you're not gonna make us this invisible person, as Ralph Ellison wrote in his book, The Invisible Man, because you do got black people coming here treating us like we don't exist. So even when you go to Labor Day parades, it's like, where's the representation of black Americans? And then to have people come here and be disrespectful when we open our doors, because we can get into the civil rights movement. As part of the civil rights, I keep telling people, civil rights wasn't just about toilets and water fountains. It was to help other black immigrants get here. It was about us getting policies where we could pass off wealth, because insurance policies wasn't selling us IUL. We were only getting burial insurance.
Group in the world into America.
Say it again.
Black Americans got every immigrant group, whether it's black, brown, yellow, white, every other immigrant group that was marginalized in the world. You got to remember, them Albanians, they Muslim. How you think the Christian world felt about them? That's how they got in, through us.
Right.
Through us.
Yeah. Through our labors.
All them Albanians that's got the big beards and all that, them Eastern Europeans that's Muslim, yeah, they got in through us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, is like people don't realize we got every marginalized community in the world here.
Right. And they ride off our back, but then disrespects us. And that's why we said, all right, because we Brooklyn dudes. We're not letting nobody from Harlem disrespect.
But just for a factual point, last week, was it last week or the week before? Anyway, there was a House Judiciary Committee hearing about the U.S. Census, how to move going forward. And they said that every ethnic group hides under our lineage. And that's a problem. And so now going forward, the U.S. Census, even white folks, you now have to identify who you are. Italian, Jewish, there's no more flatness anymore.
So sis.
And that whole hearing was about us and our ethnicity.
And hold up, and where was that hearing held at?
In D.C. Washington,
the House
D.C. Yes. It's
the House Judiciary Committee, right?
Yes.
Because I asked you this, right? Because I want people to hear this, because people say, all right, y'all delineate, y'all black Americans, but what are y'all fighting for? And they keep forgetting that we affect change. We affect laws. People keep saying that black Americans, we just want to be separate, but we not going to do nothing with it. Motherfucker, we the one who got the civil rights passed. We the ones who fought to abolish slavery. See, go back to our enslavement. I keep telling people we weren't free at the beneficence of white folks. It's because we fought. We constantly, as Gutta mentioned, Denmark Vesey earlier. We got Gabriel Prosser. We got Nat Turner. We got so many rebellions that we were interrupting the system.
Send us to Haiti, my nigga.
Say it again.
Lincoln wanted to send us to Haiti.
Yeah. Haiti and Liberia. Yeah. But guess what? A lot of our people didn't go.
Liberia was earlier. Lincoln wanted to send,
but he wrote a letter to the crown.
He wanted to send all the niggas to hate.
Both places, just get us out of here. Because he said we're going to have problems with them as long as they're here. But this is the part people don't know. Most black people didn't leave because most black people remember when white folks came. Black folks was here. They got the information their grandparents gave them. We keep acting like 100, and not saying us on this panel, we act like 100 years ago was so far ago. My great-grandmother was born in 1910. I knew her. So that's 115 years ago she was born, and I met somebody born in 1910. But in 1924, Dr. Walter Plecker came up with what's called the paper genocide. And as Sister Keisha talking about now, they have to revamp the census, the whole census applications. Walter Plecker did that in 1924 when my great-grandmother was 14. You were either white, which was an Anglo-Saxon, a WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, or you, as you said, Gutta, you was Italian, you was Jewish, you was Irish, you was black, you was Native American. All of that is non-white. That's when everybody fell under the rainbow called colored, under the umbrella of colored. But then we started defining ourselves. But Walter Plecker came and just said, yo, everybody who not white, you colored. Then it went from colored to Negro, and Negro to black. I mean, not Negro to black, Negro to Negro to color to, then African American came in the 70s.
Well, the Afro-American, we was calling ourselves that. And they just took it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but what year was that we started calling ourselves that? And then under
that was way back, Tad. Way back.
We called ourselves Afro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
what
time period? I'm asking.
You talking about African American was the 80s. African American was the 80s. The Afro American is way older.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We was calling ourselves that and simultaneously with black.
Right. And then you got to remember too.
Ourselves.
You got to remember too that some of our leaders back then said that was a problem.
Said what was the problem?
Confusion to attach African onto our American identity. Frederick Douglass said it, and so did Carter G. Woodson. He said that is a problem. We are American. Forget the rest of that. It causes confusion. And I will encourage everybody to go back and read The Miseducation of the Negro. He spoke specifically about that. In fact, I'm going to try to pull up some points while y'all converse. I'll try to pull up some points.
Right. Look, y'all got me, got me deep. I had some questions I wanted to hit, but I'm glad we having this conversation, right? Because a lot of people don't know this stuff that we putting down. And, damn, Gutta, there was something I wanted to ask you too. I'm trying to find the question. But it don't even matter, because now that we talking about identities and we were talking about the civil rights, Gutta, I'm gonna give this one to you, our sister Kee Fighter. The civil rights, some call it the civil rights, some call it the civil rights. Do you think it helped or hurt our progress, and why?
Double-edged sword.
Okay, I can see that.
Kind of like through no fault of ours. It's just how the government manipulated the situation.
Right.
They use wordplay to take our advancements and spread them out, because I don't think we realize the largest minority is white women. It's minority, largest minority. Then they added other people as well as the LGBT community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had other religions, which is, you know what I'm saying, that don't have nothing to do
with nothing.
Us. It had, you know what I'm saying, they put religion, they put, you know what I'm saying, Judaism, Islam, you know what I mean? These, you know what I mean? These protections that were meant specifically for Black Americans.
Right. Right. So I think it's important that people know that, because unfortunately, we have, like, we old heads, y'all. We've been around for a long time.
But they pinned with us.
Say it again?
They pinned with us.
Yeah, pinned with us, yeah.
Pinned with us. It depends. They, everything that they agreed to, they switched the wording up, so now we don't get the benefit.
And we're on the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part a lot of people are missing, because the history of Black people in America has always been the history of resistance. Whether we talking about, as she mentioned, Frederick Douglass, whether we talking about Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Dr. King, Malcolm X, who else could you name? There's so many people. Queen Mother Moore, Adam Clayton Powell. We have a history of resistance. So when folks say Black Americans have no culture, our culture has always been to fight. Even if you look at the greatest fighters in the world, whether it's Jack Johnson, Muhammad Ali, or Mike Tyson, they from this soil. Whether you're talking about intellectual fighters, we're talking about those people from here. We've always put up a resistance to white supremacy. But now what's funny is people don't know white supremacy often morphs into different phases. Like you said, Gutta, they slipped in through the civil rights movement. Said make white women a minority.
This is what I'm saying. It's worldwide as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why the individual, you got to remember, the individuals that they, for the most part, that they get over here are people that fit within the system. They already have financial stability in the country they got. They are of the upper class.
Right.
So they look down on they own. These the model minority. You know what I'm saying? The so-called model minorities that, when the transfer, their thought pattern to, get closer to whiteness, which never works. You know what I'm saying? Whether they Black, Asian, you know what I'm saying, Middle Eastern, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So it's they try to reach that closeness to whiteness, and they come in and be an obstruction. That was the point of the system.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny you say that, right? Because I see people say, like you said, the proximity to whiteness, but acknowledging that you're not white, but then get around us and cosplay and use that as an open door to use the word nigga. Like, well, in my country, I'm considered a nigga. Like, nah, my G, nah.
That's the excuse to be anti-Black. Especially
that's my point. There you go. That's my point.
All the non-Black, non-whites, that's their excuse for being anti-Black. Then you got the ones where, like the dude Myron.
Oh, Myron Gaines?
Yeah, he's Somali. That's
right.
I think he changed his name. You know what I'm saying? No, his name is not no fucking Myron Gaines. Let's be fucking for real. Yeah. You're from Somalia and your name is Myron Gaines. Let's be fucking for real.
Straight off the continent. And he's anti-Black.
Like born crazy. And raised in Somalia, where he was born, raised a little bit, and moved over here as a young kid. And your name is Myron Gaines. Like they got some Myrons running around and running around in Somalia. Come on, let's be fucking for real, man. You so anti-Black, you don't even want your own name.
Word.
I forgot his name. You know what I'm saying? But
right. Yeah, but nah, you 100% right.
And then you get individuals like that. See, this is people, and this man, you was talking about this. What we wanted to clear up is not. It's not a dislike against Blacks from everywhere else.
Right.
Right. Not at all.
It's the dislike of the coons that come over here and try to purposely throw a monkey wrench in what we got going on.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You got to remember. All right, to give you a perfect example, look at Jamaicans. You got the Rastas and all that. They anti-government.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want peace in the country. They speaking, you know what I'm saying? Forget the religious aspect of it. I'm just talking about the cultural aspect and what they stand for.
Right.
Unity to all they people. Let's live and eat together. Let's get rid of this corrupt ass government and let the people rule with peace and love.
Yeah.
They believe that.
That's their conscious thought.
But are they active in that? Because in Jamaica, and I spend a lot of time there.
You gotta.
They ain't fighting nobody.
That's just like, bro.
They ain't fighting nobody.
Yeah.
And they ain't anti-white women either. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
One love.
They freezing color. They on the rainbow shit for real.
Yo, word up.
I just wanted to go back to what I said about Carter G. Woodson. Chapter 13, understand the Negro. He says, Woodson states, this is my notes for Thursday, so I'm just going to read from my notes, directly that Black writers and thinkers should focus on the greatness of all drama, the experience of Blacks in America, rather than themes abroad. He said this is their history, their identity and contributions are rooted in the American experience. In chapter 18, study of the Negro, he argues that Black people must write and study their own story, that most existing histories have been written by outsiders for the purposes of distortion. This reinforces their summary, their point about outside narratives obscuring their claim to identity, land, citizenship, and history. So you can go back and read that book. But Carter G. Woodson, that's it.
I had to run to the bookshelf real quick.
I'm telling you, go back. I'll tell you the chapters to read. 13
and 18, right?
18, 9, 3, and 1. The first chapter. Stay at the table. Okay? That book focuses on Black people here worried about ourselves and our story and not letting others distort our story and our history. Do not focus on writers outside of this group because that could be problematic, and so did Frederick Douglass. He said the exact same thing, along with Martin Delaney. Go back and read. That's what they said. We are our own unique group, and I know, not I think, and I want to make this clear for those who may be confused. FBA is a lineage. It is not a group. It is not an organization that you can join. It is your lineage here. Period. That is it. The movement is delineation and disaggregation.
And explain what that means, sis.
We are our own identity, our own ethnic group. Just like Jamaicans are their own group, Haitians are their own group, Nigerians are their own group. There's nothing wrong with that. They will tell you that. We are our own group. That's great. But the problem is so many of them have fed under flat blackness in this country, negating the fact that we too are our own group. And politically, because they are in office, they are passing legislation that is harmful to us, but beneficial to their group, right? So, for example, you have the Black Caucus here. I'm talking about the city. We live in New York, so I'm going to talk about New York, okay? Just to keep it simple. In New York, you have the Black Caucus, right, of the city council. But you also have the Caribbean Caucus. You have the Latino Caucus. So whatever tangibles we get under the Black Caucus, they too benefit. But if they get tangibles under the Caribbean Caucus, we get nothing. Right. We get nothing. It's the same with scholarships. We have scholarships for Black children to go to school. They too have Caribbean scholarships, Latino scholarships, Asian scholarships that our children cannot benefit from. But nobody sees this as a problem. So delineation and disaggregation as I think Sister Farnessa and someone else in the chat said, they listening to everything we saying. And that's why that judiciary hearing was held last week, because they used our exact talking points to talk about what they plan to do for the censuses going forward. And how white folks too will now have to list your specific group. There's no more flat whiteness anymore. Because someone else in the chat also said that you have Africans, and Caribbeans who identify as white. You will not be able to do that anymore.
Yeah, that's the Myron Gaines and all them Northeast Africans. No, that's a fact. If you from Morocco, I'll give you a perfect example. And I don't know if he puts himself down as well. But French Montana, coming from Morocco, the government classifies him as white.
Wow.
Unless he forces them, just like it was an Egyptian dude. He was a professor. They tried to make him classify himself as white, and he forced the government to classify him as black.
And he's dark skinned too.
Yeah, black as a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's dark skinned.
Yeah, so they tried to classify me as white. He's like, I'm not a white man. I'm black. You know what I'm saying? And my ancestors are black. You know what I'm saying? Because that throws off that's why I told you everything, all this shit that the bullshit comes from is built off of white supremacy.
Yeah.
It's built off
Agreed.
Agreed.
And that's why we putting foot to ass to dispel all of that and practicing delineation. And what I learned, right, Gutta, is a lot of folks don't know what that word means. Shit, I wasn't using it until this year. I had to look it up. Like, before I start throwing this word around, let me go to my dictionary. That's when I first started reading books. That's what I did. I walked around with a book. I walked around with my line. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Drawing the line, giving it a specific definition. Our brother Professor Carl Tone Jones is telling us, right? Mustafa Hefni, I think that is who the doctor was you talking about, Gutta. I think that's his name. The Egyptian dude who didn't want to be classified as white.
Oh, okay.
But I walked around with my book in the dictionary, and I didn't move off that page until I learned what that word was that I was reading. When we were at thing in Flatbush, me, Sister Kee Fighter, Sister Brooke, and Brother Divine, I said, do anybody know what delineation means? People was quiet in the beginning, and one elder just jumped up. Yeah, it means get away from Africa. I'm like, see, you're not even being honest. And it's hard for us to have an honest conversation when folks are locked into a particular idea, and when new information comes, they automatically kick it off because it's not in alignment with their belief system.
That's because of that mindset I talked about earlier.
It doesn't sound right because, all right, we already know every Aboriginal community on the planet originated. Their ancestors came from Africa. Like, our features is going to show you that.
They say all humanity.
No, but get what I'm saying. Our features is going to show you, all right, this is where our distant ancestors come from. You know how long we've been on this on this side of the planet, my nigga? Not all of it. You know what I'm saying? Not all of our bloodline came from that many thousand years ago. You understand what I'm saying? But you have some. You know how long that is a stretch for you to say that you're exactly the same people?
Right.
It would be like the Sentinelese. They've been in India for over about between 30 and 50,000 years. Black as a motherfucker, hair nappy as a bitch. They can look like they from down south or East Africa or the Caribbean. But they've been there, but where their DNA is actually cut off from anywhere else.
Right.
So we already understand where the Aboriginals are everywhere on the planet. What they look like. They look like us. You know what I'm saying? Wherever they went, they looked like us. You
Yeah.
dig what I'm saying? But as far as building a distinct culture over thousands of years and over this distinct circumstances is the difference. Where that's where the difference is coming.
And that's what give us our influence.
We in the same gene pool, yeah, but that shit is so long ago, my nigga. We had to build what we have over here from, first of all, before the settlers came over and then after.
Right.
And it's been continuity for those hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And sometimes for some of us, for some of our bloodlines, thousands of years.
Yeah. And you know what? It brings me back to hip hop, what you said, Gutta. You know, I watched Grandmaster Caz on the Bag Fuel podcast the other day, and he was talking about the creation of hip hop. And he was saying, like, yo, when we had jams, Latinos was there. He said, but when Latinos had their jams, we weren't there. So who do you think influenced who? They came and got some sauce from us. We didn't go to them.
That's simple, bro.
But then you got Fat Joe, who got millions of followers.
You got to think about it. And Fat Joe says it himself. He grew up in a project that was 85% black.
Right.
So what do you think he's gonna follow?
Right.
That's being like, we from the hood. We grew up in the hood. So how many Puerto Ricans you knew grew up in the hood, and he's gonna act exactly like Fat Joe?
Right.
It's too many to name.
Yeah.
It's too many to name. Pick a project that's 90% black. It's gonna be some Puerto Rican families that grew up around blacks. That's the lingo, everything. Maybe not they grandma, not they tia and all of that.
Right.
But then it's gonna be the youngsters. It's not gonna be the
old heads.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Because hip hop is new. Like I said, hip hop, we're the generation of hip hop. We was there when it started. It was our influence. It was the music we were listening to before it was even called hip hop. Because we was listening to our parents' music, jamming to that.
You got to remember, 80s. We're going to talk about the 80s. This is when it exploded. You know, it started in the 70s, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Even in the 80s, in New York City. You know what the majority of the Puerto Rican population was listening to? Freestyle.
Yeah.
That's what it is, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to Menudo and Lisa in the culture.
Early 80s, that's what they was on, bro.
Yeah, they had their Spanish New Edition.
But for the most part, you had that section of the community that grew up nothing but black people. So they're gonna adapt to whatever the black kids is doing. They might go in the crib and hear their older brother or older sister listen to that, but the younger kids gonna adapt to what the black kids doing, because that's the majority of the people they go to school with. That's the music that they hear every day. That's the slang that they hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember, like, people gotta, like, two of the low lives. Ralphie, you know what I'm saying, and his brother Het, both Puerto Ricans. They grew up right in the hood with a bunch of black dudes on St. John's and Utica.
Right. I remember TKA Louder Than Love. V for Venture say, yo, remember TKA Louder Than Love. I know the song.
I hate it. I'm gonna keep it real.
But you know what's funny? Because they played it on Video Music Box. Remember, Ralph had to cater to some of the Puerto Ricans.
I didn't never play.
And shout out to all my Puerto Ricans, because we fuck with Puerto Ricans.
I'm gonna keep it real. For that and the old school R&B joints, we was outside. We was not staying in the crib for that. We was outside. I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Me.
Yeah. Shout out to Chase Black in the cut.
Like even not just hip hop. We created every genre of music.
But this is what I'm saying.
Every genre.
Yes.
So again, the first recording artist who was black came from here. George W. Johnson. He was the first black recording artist. The first black record label, Black Swan Records, came right out of here in New York. You know what I mean? So again, it doesn't matter the genre. We are the influence. Period.
So you saying the first record ever recorded was a black person?
George W. Johnson. He was a street dancer out there in the Times Square area.
We all learning. So
Yeah,
he was the first one to do his Showtime on the train.
And this was in 1890, okay? In 1890, George W. Johnson was the first black recording artist.
But everybody had to come up here.
The culture.
Even the people from down south was coming up here to record. You know what I'm saying? All of, like, you got to think about it. Even Latin jazz.
Right.
All of the influence came from here.
Well, no. Because they influence came from Cuba, but they was all black, and they was saying.
But wait a minute. Cuba got its influence from here, as far as jazz is concerned, because we were the first artists.
You got to think about it. Latin jazz and our jazz is completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Is, but the influence came from here.
No,
it wouldn't be a Latin jazz if it wasn't here first.
This is what I'm saying is the dudes out there said this is not Latin jazz. This is black music. But you got to remember, we wasn't given no name. Like the white people was giving the names to the music. So the dudes from Cuba is like, yo, no. This is not Latin music. Latin is European. This is black music.
All you gotta do is watch an episode of The Cosby Show. And one thing I liked about that show, he taught music history in that show. If you go back and you watch the reruns, Cliff Huxtable taught black music history in that show. From gospel to jazz to blues to bebop to what do you call that? Not bebop,
not scatting, right?
No, I forget the name of the genre. Doo-wop. Okay. All of that, he taught that history in that show.
And avant-garde.
Okay.
You know, my pops was a jazz musician, so you know, I kind of came up on a lot of jazz shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
And your man New York is agreeing with you. Said, "Gotta know he was there from riff to rap." Gotta, you gotta roast him, man. he be throwing haymakers.
I let New York get his shit off.
He said, "Gotta be scat."
Nigga, you was doing them joints to the drum in the wood. You talking about you was listening to banjos and motherfucking shit like that.
Yeah, he said banjos.
Yeah. He's running around with no shoes on, with them linen pants cut. That's what you was playing. You was playing the banjo and the harmonica.
Oh man,
they're gonna catch your ass sooner or later.
So it's funny, sis, right, that you bring up the Huxtable.
No, one day. You're gonna go to the promised land.
Yo, you in New York, boy.
Yeah.
He said you played the fiddle for Thanksgiving. So, sis, as we talk about media, you talk about the influence of Bill Cosby. During Bill Cosby's incarceration, I was one of the people who actually believed he didn't essay all them people. I'm going to just be honest. I said it back then. Remember, I made Facebook posts. I'm thankful he's out. He's an old man. Again, this is the influence we have, not just on pop culture, because, correct me if I'm wrong, is Cosby Show one of the most successful television shows?
I think his old ass was a freak.
No, I'm not saying he's not a freak. Now, I ain't say that. I'm just saying he didn't essay a lot of them girls. Because remember, he only got convicted of one. But I want to talk about his influence, because remember, he had a documentary called Negro History Lost, Stolen, Astray that he did back in the 70s, maybe early 80s. And then, of course, he had Fat Albert and the Cosby Show that dealt with.
I think that was one of the first black cartoons. Well, the first produced by a black person. First black.
Right.
Black
Now,
cartoon.
you might be right. It might be the first black. I can't think of a black cartoon prior to that showed us in a positive light, as opposed to, you know, with Metro Goldwyn,
I
man.
don't know if the Jacksons and the Harlem Globetrotters and all that shit came out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I don't know that either.
Exact years. I know.
I forgot about them too. The Jacksons and Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Right. But what I was going to say is about Bill Cosby's influence. Say it again.
Scatman Carruthers was one of the voices from the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
And I think it was Hong Kong Phooey too.
Well, yeah, he definitely had a black voice. Though he
No,
was a dog.
That was Scatman.
Oh, that's right. That was Scatman Carruthers. Yeah. Right. That's right. But what I was going to say about Bill Cosby's influence on American culture in terms of how people perceive black people was influential. And again, we talking about our influence on the globe, not just in the North and South.
That was just a global representation. That was the best global representation of us in a good light.
Right. And I remember people having the issue with the Cosby Show when it first came out, said that's not a real representation of black families. And I think that's another thing that we have to really start crushing, negative images and stereotypes that people hold on to.
It was real in my family.
Right.
You know, real in my family. I got cousins, both him and his spouse is doctors, another cousin, him and his spouse is lawyers. Like, I don't know what people talking about. Maybe it wasn't in your family, but it was in mine.
My sister wasn't a lawyer, but she had a high position. Her husband, radiologist.
Right.
This is my immediate family. So it's like that's definitely that's what people don't realize is like my family was like more like the fucking Huxtables. My larger family was more like the Huxtables, and they was like anybody else.
Right, more than James and them in Good Times, right?
You know what I'm saying? We had not saying that we didn't have, you know, family issues. You know what I mean?
Right, all families do, right?
But like that, what I'm saying is they were more like the
well-to-do.
Yeah,
yeah, and I think sometimes people, it's like. So this whole thing is about our influence. People equate the lower rungs of our society, of Black America. They'll look at the crackheads, they'll look at the young gangbangers and say that's all Black Americans. And that's not a good representation.
On my mother's side, I think we was the brokers.
Word. And y'all was all right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we was like, everybody else, like, and this is the thing with us. I think it was my mother, like, independence, that she ain't want to just keep going back to family for this, for that, for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was my mom's stubborn streak. That's all I was. I'm gonna keep it real with
Yeah.
you. My family have land in West Virginia, literally.
Right. And that's another thing. A lot of Black families here in America did own land. Go back to what you said earlier, Gutta, about the money, buying into the system. Because I know my grandfather left my mother some land and she had sold that land years ago, you know, for the money. And I think there was no real value in land ownership when we started putting money above assets. Because, of course, when they introduced the drugs into our community, they also removed education. Like you were saying, Gutta, a lot of information was removed. So as we fast forward now, as we have this quote unquote FBA/Freedmen movement, because what I like to tell people, all FBA is free.
Wait, because I don't want people to get confused. FBA Freedmen is a lineage, it's not a movement. The movement is delineation.
Yes, delineation. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis, for the correction. You know, it's to reclaim our identity and our history. Because what I realized with other groups, they claim Black American history. And to your point, Gutta, they'll blanket it as Blackness. but don't look at the uniqueness of it, what it was that was done by us here. A history of resistance. So what you're seeing in this renaissance right now is us resisting again, us resisting people ignoring our contributions, us resisting folks saying we have no culture, whether it's Fat Joe, whether it's Busta Rhymes, whether it's Akon, whether it's Barack Obama, whether it's Kamala Harris, anybody who cosplay as us or partake in our culture but then disrespect the architects. Now we coming for you. And it ain't personal. It's just you got to deal with the repercussions like any dude. When we jump off the porch, right, Cut, and we get in the streets, we know what could happen. We know we could get chipped. We know we could get jammed up. We take those chances anyway. So we want everybody to know who's not with us. If that's your position, cool. Just be ready for the consequences. Because there are things happening. Just because people don't know about it don't mean it's not happening. Case in point, Umar with the school. People keep saying, I don't know why y'all hating on Umar. He the only one trying to build the school. But we had Marcus Khan here. You know what I'm saying? With the Freedom Home International Academy. Facts. We got people. You got people in Texas.
Because when you had Marcus Klein on here, even he said the problems that he had came from the Pan-African.
Yeah. And he teaches African history. We see the fly stuff. And that's what I'm saying. We're not negating our global story, the history. We're not negating the beauty of what was done in the past. We're talking about what we're doing right now. We're not living in the past. And I think that's the problem a lot of people have, because they're so stuck in the past that they don't want to do nothing right now, because to act right now means you have to act right now. You have to do something. Most of the people, and this ain't a knock on Pan-Africans, because it is what it is, but dudes are living in the past. It's too much history. What are we going to do right now? All right, we know who built the pyramids. We know what Imhotep done. We know. How does that serve us today? How does that put food on our table, roof over our head, clothes on our back? And how does it provide us for a secure future? Because we see migrants hopping the fence, getting what they want. We see the LGBTQIA plus community. Their identity is based on a bedroom behavior. And they're still getting laws and money passed for them just based on how they like they sex. Like, how crazy is that? But us as a global community, we can't get on one accord. And when some of us say, you know what, this is a sinking ship, because there's no clarity. There's just talk. There's no clarity. It's talk. When we say, yo, we're going to delineate, we're going to do this over here. When y'all get y'all shit together over there, give us a call. But right now, this is what we doing. People get mad at us, and all we really ask to be is left alone. If we don't know what we talking about and we ignorant and we ain't got nothing going on, just leave us alone. I don't involve myself in Italian affairs. I don't involve myself in Irish affairs, because I ain't got a nickel in that quarter. So why folks can't have the same respect for those of us who deciding to delineate? Leave us alone. That's all we asking. If we don't see eye to eye, cool. That's it. Just go about your business. But this is why what we're saying today, our global influence, a lot of things would not exist if it wasn't for us, whether we talk about refrigerated cars, air conditioners, radiators, dustpans, doorknobs. Like, come on, man. We pretty much done it all. But for people to be disrespectful and minimize our efforts, this is why so many people behind us are lost, because they're getting the wrong information from the wrong people that look like us, under the influence of white supremacy. I hate to say it, but it's the truth, and the truth is painful. But I'm off my soapbox.
That's the whole background, everything.
Yeah.
Because if you come here and you allow the government to tell you not to trust us, then you part of the problem.
And we look, and it's crazy, Gutta, because we look at folks that's coming as brothers and sisters. People said that that FBA is a CIA operative, a memorandum 46. That's what they say, right? I never heard that before. Have you, Sister Keisha? Till we went to that little event in Flatbush. Caused me to go home and do my homework. Gutta, go back, look it up. It's a fake document. It's not even real. The real memorandum 46 was dealing with Venezuela. Like, It's so much misinformation that spread it. But this is something I seen when I was in the movement. I seen personality worships. I seen contradictions. I seen disunity within the leadership that people don't want to talk about. I seen elders get their hands. I didn't see it physically, but elders had got hands put on them. Pan-African elders got hands put on them by young Pan-Africans, and nobody did nothing about it. Bad behavior don't get called out.
Look,
it's crazy.
We spoke about this earlier today. Like, you can't criticize nobody because all his fans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's personality cults.
Yeah, personality worship.
I ain't no fan of no nigga that's like, if we in the struggle, I'm gonna be a fan of you.
Right.
I'm gonna agree. If you have good points, I'm gonna agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm pragmatic.
Yeah.
I've been in this world 56 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm pragmatic enough to know a dude I can disagree with a dude 100 times and he says something that I agree with one time, that don't mean I'm his fan. A lot of shit these niggas be talking about, I'll be listening to is like, yo, I don't like you yapping, nigga.
Right.
You're not saying anything historically 100% correct.
Or even constructive.
Yeah, and it's always niggas always got a problem with they like this attack.
Yeah, you know what I realized, Gutta, in the movement, a lot of stuff is reactionary. Nothing is proactive. I don't see the initiative that we all could be a part of, other than this kumbaya shit everybody's saying, unify the whole globe. Yeah, that sound good. We know that's not possible because that don't exist nowhere, and no living organism. It don't exist. Ants fight each other. Like, as much as they work together, they go to war. Bees go to war. Like, it just doesn't work. So let's do something that's practical.
I definitely ain't gonna put myself in animal.
Not animal, but it's a social because we all live in organisms. It's a social construct. It's about how do we exist together. That's what I'm saying. Like, ants work together. They problem solve together. Bees problem solve together. Us as black folks, do we problem solve together or do we problem hunt together? Right. We look for problems, not solutions.
Bars. And like I said before, and I hope people understand this, there are several problems here. One, there's no accountability for anything. A lot of people like to let stuff slide under the rug. You let it die down around. These mother effers come back around again. And it's all good. It's all good. Two, when we want something specifically for our ethnic group, it's a problem for everybody. So like when the U.S. Freedmen Project sent a letter asking all groups of the diaspora that reside here in New York, whether they're Caribbean, African, Latino, whatever, just give us a letter of support. We don't want money from you. We're not asking you to get out and march, nothing. They didn't even dignify him with a response. But we're supposed to be practicing as a group. You have to damn mind.
But now, sis, were they in the meetings? But did these people come to the meetings?
They come to the hearings
to do
give
what?
Testimony to say either one of two things. And I've been to all of them except for three. They say either Black Americans don't deserve reparations or shouldn't have it, or they try to grandfather clause themselves onto our claim, which is illegal. We can't, if CARICOM attain reparations right now for the Caribbean, whether our ancestors may have lived here before and came back here, we ain't got a nickel in that quarter. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. But they don't see that as a problem. Politically, They are passing legislation specifically for their groups that we cannot benefit from. but they don't see that as a goddamn problem. It's a problem. But you don't hear these Pan-African groups speak up about that. I haven't seen a Pan-African group yet come to any of these reparations hearings and advocate on our behalf. Not yet. It's a bunch of BS. And again, you have to remember, those groups who were active, like UAM, it was because it was founded by Black Americans, and Black Americans advocated, fought for, and got laws passed specifically for us.
And that's fact.
No other diaspora group did that. Not on this soil. They haven't let a goddamn thing on this soil. Nowhere, no how, nobody did.
And you know, sis, and I'm glad you brought that up, because there's some Pan-Africans that I love. Like, I met some good brothers, some good sisters, met some fake brothers and fake sisters.
Same
you know,
here.
And I'm not in the way of nobody. And I still, like, you know, when we was, say it again.
I'm a Pan-African.
Right. So is our sister Marcia, who do the show with us every Thursday. And that's what I was about to say. Even on our show, I encourage folks, I'm not trying to dissuade nobody from their belief system, from going to the motherland, engaging, learn as much as you can. Because we all got different perspectives and experiences. I'm saying for myself, as Sister Keisha speak for herself, you know, I pivoted because all of the effort that I put into it, the money. Yo, Gutta, let me tell you, man, I was doing presentations about Black Power with a shut-off notice on back at the crib. They about to cut my lights out. I got a shut-off notice. But here we talking about Black Power, but nobody want to talk about economics. Nobody want to. And then, truth be told, ain't too many I trust with the money anyway. Look at Umar. Look at the Prince of Pan-African. Look at Umar. Look at Polite.
We're the elders of that group who sat his ass down yet.
Yeah, nobody said, where's the elder?
It's beneficial to some of them. And they know
he promotes.
They know it's beneficial, but they ain't gonna say it.
Well, like me and you had this discussion earlier.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Majority of this shit is a grift.
Yeah, tell them, that's what all Gutta kept saying this morning on both sides.
Yeah,
too. We talking about FBA,
the FBA,
and Pan African, because some misrepresenting us,
and even the racists.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You got the motherfuckers that act like they racist. The motherfuckers come from some. They ain't even from the continent. They got millions of followers. They just say mad racist, old racist shit, and you know, once Elon start monetizing them shits.
Check this out. When Mrs. Diallo, Nafissatou Diallo, and I'm gonna keep telling this story. I want people to get it.
Always tell it, sis.
When Nafissatou Diallo was essayed by one of the most powerful men in the world, Dominique Strauss-Kahn, it was FBA who stopped that man from leaving New York and going back to France. FBA did that. It was 4 FBA sisters out in the streets getting signatures to turn over to District Attorney Cy Vance to get that man stopped. Where are the Senegalese for us? When you go to Little Synagogue in Harlem, they don't even look you in your face. But they don't talk about this part of it. They keep quiet about it. This is where the BS comes in. It's not reciprocated any way, in any fashion, by any group. So that's what pisses me off. I'm the one who was out there in the heat getting them signatures. Not one Senegalese woman.
Hold on. Who was out there, sis?
Me.
You?
Sister Vera, Deidre, we was out there getting them goddamn signatures in the heat.
For who?
Nobody else from Senegal. And look at Chanel Lewis, who is of Jamaican heritage. FBA was out there supporting his family, going to all the court cases. Where were the Jamaicans? Nowhere.
Hold up, sis. Where were the Pan-Africans?
Nowhere.
See, and this is not a knock on See, this is not
even when we was out there stopping a pedophile
at the
getting
church.
a pedophile out the community. We was out there with that Jamaican family. Where was that Jamaican?
And it was freezing.
Nowhere.
Brick ass cold.
So again, it's not reciprocated. They don't do shit until it's too late. So I don't want to hear it. No group. We sent letters to the board of the West Indian Day Carnival. None of them showed up. You got all of these Muslims who talk this, that, and the third. None of y'all was out there to stop this pastor who was essaying his 12-year-old stepdaughter in the alleyway between the church and a construction site. Nobody came out for that little girl. We were there. So
and they told us we was wrong.
Exactly.
They told us we was wrong for defending the 12-year-old child.
They want to beat us up. But Ray was at every court case.
Yeah, shout out to Brother Ray.
Case. Where were they? So they ain't about that life when it comes to standing on business and fighting this white supremacist system. They ain't about that life.
Yeah, and I was going to say real quick, and I'm going to pass the mic to Gutta. Sis, what I've learned in the movement, it's all about the history. It's all about the history. It's not about what we're going to do now. It's not activism based as it used to be. Like you said, you out of the UAM. We went to the UAM where you got the information weekly and then you went out and did something about it. That's how we got the African burial ground down at downtown Manhattan. Because of the UAM and other, but this new breed, it's all
Africans on that. Where were the Caribbeans at? Where y'all was at? So knock it off, because you wasn't there, man. But I'm in here. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was just saying, sometimes, and again, I'm not discouraging nobody from what they believe. But remember, when we did the Code of Conduct, King Simon Presents, it was his anniversary. You and I spoke, Irritated Genie spoke, Professor Griff spoke, a few other people spoke. We talked about this, and that was 2015, 2016. We was telling people, do your own family history. Do your own family research, because the deeper you delve into this, they want you to honor other people of the past, but you don't even know what their character was. They want you to invoke people you don't know personally. I knew my grandmothers personally. I knew my great-grandmothers personally. I know what they taught me. I knew what their characters was like. So if I'm going to invoke anybody's spirit, it's going to be the spirits of the ancestors that I know. Because like I said, shoot, my great-grandmother's husband was way older than her. I was like, damn, Pop, look kind of different, but look at him kind of different. Ain't no shit I would have did, but that's their times. I don't know that man. He was dead before I was thought of. So we got to be mindful of the spirits we invoke and just what we say we represent. Because we're supposed to be moving forward into the future, not so far looking at the past. I get it. Know your past so you know where you're going. Some of these dudes is running around in circles, and I see it. I've only seen a couple of solid people. I see more dun-dun-dun dudes in the movement than I've met solid people. And I'll be honest with you. Well, got something you want to add on to that?
Like I said, I look at it like this. Even though the culture distinguishes between each other. Everybody, but we fight the system. You know what I'm saying? So everybody gotta get on code with that. Fuck worrying about what I'm doing and what we doing. This is my concept of Pan-Africanism. You fight it wherever you at.
That's it.
It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? We know what the system has painted us. Yeah, you might be Yoruba, Igbo, Bambara, you might be Somali, you might be Amharic, you know what I'm saying? You might be Brazilian, you might be, you know what I'm saying? We all not exactly alike. Everybody know that.
But it goes back to what you said, Gutta.
But the point of the matter is fighting the system.
Right.
It's a global system. You know what I'm saying?
And we're here fighting. Those of us who've been here for centuries, we're still fighting till this day. But it goes back to what you said, Gutta. It's the personality worship. Everybody's grifting. Anytime we talk about our lineage, people bring up Tariq Nasheed. No matter how many times he says he's not the leader, he's not. People say, yeah, he trademarked FBA. That's his business because the correct legal term is freedman. It's like, come on, man. It's people getting caught up in semantics trying to be right instead of trying to have an understanding.
But you also got his fans.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Fans of his, fans of Umar's, fans of whoever. Yeah. Everybody got fans.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck? Like, that's your whole point of having followers instead of actually doing something.
How can you be the leader of a lineage? There's no leader of Jamaican people. Right. You just Jamaican. That don't even make sense. You know, and it totally negate the information that Dr. Claude Anderson gave us for years about this problem. He warned us about this problem. But everybody, I'm laughing at New York. He has
He's a Gutta trademark groovy. That's it.
But even so, when people say, you know, he trademarked FBA, verifications of African American is trademarked. Verifications of Jamaican is trademarked. Haitian, Italian, verification of white is trademarked. Trademark doesn't mean you're making money off of it. It just means other people can't use it in a way that's harmful. And that's it.
But he can make money off of it.
But he's not, because
anything he puts FBA on and market as merchandise, he's making money.
So can you. You can put out shirts FBA. He's not going to stop you from doing that. That's what I'm saying. It's very. You got.
That's what the trademark is for. If I start making money with the FBA emblem, he can sue me and take all that bread.
Okay, I made FBA shirts.
With his, you gotta remember, you got the original FBA symbol, and then you have his symbol, his flag. That's what I'm saying. So if you copy his flag, I'm not talking about the original joint with the man, the fist holding the sword. I'm not talking about that.
I'm just curious though.
That's the original. That's the original flag.
But how do he trademark FBA?
You're able to do it.
But remember, FBA is originally from Amazon.
Huh?
FBA is originally Amazon.
Exactly.
I forgot what that FBA, because the first time I heard FBA, it was some shit with Amazon. So Jeff Bezos don't have that trademark.
He put the F, the dot, the B, the dot, the A, the dot, and spelled out the full name. You know what I'm saying?
It's the fulfillment center. It means fulfillment by Amazon. FBA. Okay. That's what they trademark. Fulfillment by Amazon. I know because I work with the company.
Okay. Because that's the first time I heard FBA.
He used the full Amazon. Name. You know what I'm saying? He used the full name.
What? Foundational Black Americans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tagged along.
Right. And that's
so is the African American.
Yeah.
It's trademark. Italian, variations of Italian is trademark. You can trademark whatever you want. Anybody can. The problem is, people.
You can't trademark anything.
But you can, depending on if it's not available prior as a trademark, and if it's not of public use, right? You can have something trademarked. But again, he has never sued anybody, offered a cease and desist, nothing. Because I'd rather have a black man trademark it than a white man trademark it. And white people have trademarked African American as a business. They sell shirts, they do various different things. All you gotta do is look it up. I think we did it on our show a couple of weeks ago or a month ago or something like that. We went through the various trademarks. But again, he can't be the leader of a lineage. And I know we understand that, but I want other people who are watching.
Audience. Right.
You can't be the leader of freedmen. That's it. Right. It's just another way of saying freedmen. That's it. We are freedmen. That's our legal identity.
And like this is what people got to understand. This is similar to the Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? They trademarked that. They set up a whole organization.
Right, because it was a hashtag.
That has nothing to do with the thought. Right. You know what I'm saying? The idea. That's why I say I'm a Pan-Africanist, because I'm looking idea. I'm looking from wherever you at, fight white supremacy. As a Pan-Africanist, that's your job. Cut, stop there. You know what I'm saying? And you lend support when available.
Right. And Black Lives Matter is an organization with various chapters.
But that's what I'm saying. But in the beginning, it was just a chant.
Right. But I'm gonna be honest with you. We fought them from the rip when they first came on the scene.
Off the rip, we were fighting them.
We was on their heels.
Listen to what I'm saying.
No, I understand and I agree with you.
Organization off of people in that town's chant.
Bro, we went down to Missouri. Actually, me and Che was down there. Me and Che Black. We got a picture of us up under the arch and everything. We met with the brother Darren Seals. In fact, Che interviewed Darren because he was the one who started the Hands Up, Don't Shoot, because he was close friends with Big Mike, which is Mike Brown's father, and his mother. And our brother Darren got deleted by the police. Like, we had a brother named Chris who used to call me and Sister Keisha other show, who was telling us they broke in the crib and tried to delete them. He had to lay something down. Like, we was with the people on the ground is what I'm saying. We're not making up stuff. We are saying what it actually was. You know what I'm saying? So when Black Lives Matter came out, we was on their heels from the rip because Darren Seals told us, he was like, I'm gonna tell you something funny, Gutta. You can look this up on CNN. He said he don't want nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. If anything happened, he don't want them to speak for him or nothing. Sure enough, when he got deleted, who was on CNN? But Black Lives Matter. And they were saying, these people are not from here. They come down there, take the money, and then dip. That's what all of them was doing, while them dudes still had to sit down there and deal with the racist police. No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm agreeing with you. I'm giving it context.
So when the individual can take from the lineage, you know what I'm saying? He's not, you know what I'm saying? He's not the person. The lineage is just a lineage. So you can't mistake him,
right,
for, you know what I'm saying,
the spokesperson of the leader.
No, it's what it is. You an FBA, that shit ain't got nothing to do with no fucking spokesperson, no leader.
That's my point. But that's what I'm saying. People keep trying to make somebody the leader of the lineage.
Listen to what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to clear up.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
That's why that's the parallel. Because the people going off of thought is, yeah, Black Lives Matter, not the organization. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The thought, you know what I'm saying? The thought, Black Lives Matter, that's what people is going off, not the organization. You set up an organization, I could give two fucks about it. You know what I'm saying? It's the thought. I'm not organizing with somebody I know that is scam artists. You understand what I'm saying? Why would I? That's what I'm saying. That's the parallel.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So when people say that, we got to make the distinction because people get lost in it. If you say Black Lives Matter in terms of the thought, most people think you bolstering the organization, which you're not. And in fact, even with Black Lives Matter, I'll tell you, it's so multi-layered because I got video on my phone of white people marching Black Lives Matter. That's why I knew it was going to be we knew it was going to be problematic from the jump. But then, even then, with the deletion, what was the brother name that got deleted? But the leader was a white guy. His name was something Fort. and he led a march. He led a march, and during the march, they said some dude was trying to clip Jake, trying to clip the police, and they deleted him. Sent a robot bomb, blew him up to smithereens. I tell you, we dig them stories up, Gutta, and that's what it was, because we've been doing this so long on the ground, not the information per se, but the activism, literally pulling up in these places where it's going down at. And that's what we're saying, like, people aren't separating the lessons. It's one thing to have the history lessons. That's cool. This is what I learned with Dr. Khalid. When I came in the movement with Dr. Khalid, I read a couple of books. And then I realized I wasn't even reading what Dr. Khalid and his peers was reading. They was on the next level. But not only were they talking about ideas, they went outside and did something about it. It wasn't just sit online and talk. It's, we're going to meet here. We're going to rally here. They had lawyers on deck going in courts to argue cases. As Sister Keisha talked about the UAM, the United African Movement. You know, that was led by a lawyer, Attorney Alton Maddox. Peace be upon him. Like, it's like, so where we at right now, it's a lot of talk. And we talking about action. Like, what can we do to move the people forward?
We're in the digital age. That's, everybody love to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's where the problem come in.
Yeah, they love to, like, dudes love to, yeah.
Yeah. But damn, y'all, we at 4 o'clock already. We got
look at this dude, like said. What's the name? These dudes make podcast tours.
Yeah. Yeah.
They go on different podcasts, you know what I'm saying, to make their money and boost their following up. You know what I'm saying?
To grip some more, to sell more products.
Sell some more product and cycle it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, you do have some individuals that are going out there doing the work, but we're not going to see it.
Right. And that's why we were so fortunate to have Marcus Klein on here.
Like, who's really for that?
Right. And
you know, like, the people that's with the action, like, they not just for the talking all day.
And a lot of folks been talking. That's all we saying. People keep saying, yo, what are y'all freedmen? What are y'all FBA gonna do? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. All right.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They are active. Very much so.
Yeah.
And very much getting close to attaining reparations for us. Very much close into getting our delineation movement tangible in writing. California has already done it. California, shout out to them. They've already done it. So when you filling out applications and stuff, no more flat blackness. You can't do that anymore. It's up. It's up for everybody because, you know, like I said before, we are the only ones who are active. And we have always been the only ones who are active. We can't get help. I'm not talking about outside of the country. I'm talking about Africans and Caribbean groups in the United States. They not helping us. They not helping us. CNN just did a report of how Africans in Ghana are being paid to disrupt this FBA lineage, to disrupt this delineation movement. It's already, CNN did a whole report. So again, and I always say this, if people ain't coming for you, you ain't doing nothing. And people are coming for us because we're shaking up the world right now. At the same time, beginning to attain tangibles specifically for us. So either you're on code or you're not. And if you're not, it's up for you. It's up for you, period. Yeah. And that's why you see all ICE agents outside. Wave your flags now, loud and proud. They waiting on you. Right? Put your cars in the headrest. You got your flag on your headrest. Ride loud and proud now. It's up for y'all. And we not out there praying for you. No more of that. We not going to be laying our backs down for everybody else no more. You on your own. Good luck. And Trump just The Justice Department just said that all of yous with green cards, now you're being revamped again. You're all going to be revamped again.
And why is that?
That's what you get for not fighting with us. Now you're on your own, and y'all catching a whole lot of hell. Good luck.
And why is it being revamped?
Align yourself with the dominant society instead of aligning yourself with us. Good luck. But go ahead, Tam.
No, I was asking you, why is it being revamped?
Because Trump understands, and that's why I said go back on YouTube and look at that House Judiciary Committee hearing that took place. No more blackness anymore. They realize who the liars are. They realize who the problem is. You got, I think it's Virginia, a Haitian congresswoman. Boy, now she up about to face charges in Minnesota. Half of the Somalians. Boy, Ilhan Omar. Boy. And so everybody is up for investigation now. But at the same time, they try to hide under flat blackness. And you know what? The powers that be said, oh no, you're not them. We know who you are, and we coming for you. So instead of you aligning yourself with us and helping us, now you're getting foot to ass. And good luck on that.
All them people that endorse the orange Cheeto.
Right.
Yeah, that's all them groups she just named endorse the orange Cheeto. All the Akis, all them Akis,
Yes.
all them dudes
Yes.
in Minnesota, all them Somalis that was talking about they ain't black. That's black again. Yeah, they black again now.
Yeah.
Not and not saying that the whole community feels like that. But when you get too many people that have that reach and you say that's what your community is, people gonna believe that. It might be a small percentage of your community that think that they not black. And the rest of them, 80% think they black. But once you got a large following, there's 2 million people follow you, and you say you ain't black, because that's where all that shit come from. Them. That's why I say this internet shit paint us worse than what it actually is.
Yeah.
But when you a leader and you paint that picture, everybody gonna believe exactly what you say. When like all them Indians, we know every Indian in the United States ain't anti-black.
Right.
But when you got Cash Patel, you got this dude Ramaswamy, and you got all these dudes that been saying anti-black shit for so long, what do you think black people is gonna think?
Right.
Every last one. Same thing with the Spanish dude. You know what I'm saying? All you black, I know black and boom, 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 boom. Bro, from you saying that, knowing that we actually have around the same amount of African ancestry, and then you come over here and say you're not black and you be blacker than me? Come on, my nigga. Hair nappier than mine.
Yeah.
You know? Come on, my nigga. Like, we all, you know what I'm saying? And you disavow that and then go against that, yeah. Now you gotta handle your medicine, my nigga.
Yeah.
All that's calling us mayates and all that. Now they sending your ass back. You gotta handle that, my nigga.
Yeah.
You come out here and try to get that proximity to whiteness, you automatically go against us. Yeah. That's automatically, we against black Americans.
Yep, but we done ran into overtime.
In some cases, like Myron, that nigga be talking bad against his own fucking people.
Yeah, he's a wild dude.
He's super. He just anti everything black. Even if them motherfuckers don't claim it, he gonna remind them, nigga, you a nigga.
Yeah, but it's after 4, y'all, and I got my evening things to do. Sister Keisha, what you want to leave the people with before we close out?
Thank y'all again for having me again on the OG Wisdom Podcast. Please share this out to your social media platforms. It's very important that we get more people tuned in to the OG Wisdom Podcast. It is greatly appreciated. And you can check us out every Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Thorough Black Talk Worldview. We go deeper from a historical and political perspective, and we're going to tear down this Thursday. There's no holds barred.
I need to go into my book, sis. I got to read my book again.
Get into it, brother.
You know, this is old. Lil Tad was a baby when I got this book. Yeah. Gutta, what you want to leave the people with?
Same shit. Like, if you a nigga anywhere,
Gotta say same shit.
If you a nigga anywhere, fight the system. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole shit.
No
like,
doubt.
I don't care where you at, you fighting the system. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you speak Spanish, French, whatever you speak. You know what I'm saying? And if you like, it goes without saying, if you fighting the system, you're not thinking about what we doing.
Right.
You're not feeding in the, you know what I'm saying, negative aspects about not just us, about any other black person. And that's the same thing with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we don't got the time to worry about what your country is like this, that, blah, blah. We worrying about the problems that we got here. We need reparations. We need to clean up some issues that we got of our own. You know what I'm saying? That we attach more to the system than we realize.
Yeah.
We don't have simple, like, everybody has simple survival skills. Everybody knew how to plant something. Knew how to do, you know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying? This digital age kind of fucked us up as well.
Right.
Because we was behind the 8 ball. Who's catching up, and it's only a lot of frivolous shit going on.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
that's
family, I want to give the shout out to the usual suspects. Our sister Queen Anusa, our sister Queen Brooke, Tish 76, 7 Fitness 1530. We can't forget our brother New York, always on the check-in. Farnessa, always holding. The Spread Love Movement 74. That's Big Simbo.
Don't let NASA find you.
Our brother Professor Carl Tone Jones rocking out with us on the check-in. V4 Vengeance 1. Good looking out. Always appreciate you stopping in, tapping in. Shout out. Did I say our sister Farnessa? I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our sister Farnessa. Our brother Jay Black. You know what I'm saying? Our brother Jay Black on the check-in. And let me make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I definitely want to send a shout out to Terrell Evans. You know what I'm saying? Definitely watch on the playback. Everybody like, subscribe, share. Tell a friend that we back at it like crack addicts. Hopefully you inspired by something you heard here today. It's your turn to go out and inspire others. So y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true. And remember, no matter how hard things seem right now, it's always better days ahead. Peace, family.
Just go by the North Star. And you was going to make it to the promised land. I promise you.
Peace.
Peace.